KHOU 11 News at 5:30 starts now.
Thanks for joining us on this digital newscast. We're streaming live now on KHOU 11+. I'm Marcelino Benito. It's good to have you with us. Tonight, a 19-year-old is dead after being shot at a Halloween party. Right now, police are trying to find out who's responsible. Here's what we know so far. It happened around 1 this morning at a party venue on Bissonnette Street at South Kirkwood Road. Police tell us some sort of fight broke out, then shots were fired, leaving one man dead. Another man was also found with gunshot wounds nearby. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. While details are limited, investigators are working to find more information and review surveillance video in the area. If you know anything, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. Tonight, a bond has been set for a woman charged with felony promotion of prostitution of someone under 18 years old. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says 22-year-old Kaylin Redding was arrested yesterday when deputies found a missing 16-year-old girl. The teen told officials she was forced to have sex with men for money. In court, Redding was accused of having her phone number connected to online sex ads that showed pictures of the teen. Her bond is set at $50,000. Redding is due back in court tomorrow at 9 a.m. Also due in court tomorrow, a 19-year-old charged with the murder of his own mother. Authorities say Dylan Alexander turned himself in on Friday. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tells us the mother was shot in a parking lot off Airtex Boulevard and the North Freeway last week. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. Dylan is now being charged with murder and tampering with evidence. Right now, pipeline repairs are underway at the University of Houston after a water main break was discovered. Here's what you need to know. According to the city, the break is impacting the campus's east side. That means the MD Anderson Library, Rec Center, and Student Center South, which also operates as an on-campus voting site, are closed until further notice. At this time, drivers are asked to avoid the area of MLK, north of University Drive and Campus Loop Road. Roads are closed in the area of the UH Law Center and University Lofts. Officials say that in the meantime, students can vote at nearby locations. That includes the Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church Fellowship Hall or TSU Recreational Center and Shrine of the Black Madonna Cultural and Event Center. You can also visit harrisvotes.org for more voting sites. We'll keep you updated as soon as those repairs are complete. Early voting continues this weekend. So far, more than 680,000 people have voted in person. That's just here in Harris County. For those planning to vote this week, our Cheryl Mercedes explains the rules you need to know before you head to the polls.
Before you head to the voting booth, there are some important rules to keep in mind. First, when you get to your polling place, you will notice a cone or distance marker 100 feet from the building. Inside that 100-foot mark, you are not allowed to do any politicking. That means you can't post signs, pass out pamphlets supporting a candidate, party, or measure. And once you get inside, it is time to put your phone away. Under Texas law, you are not allowed to use a wireless communications device in a polling place. That means no cell phones, cameras, tablets, laptops, or sound recorders. And you definitely can't take a selfie of yourself voting. If you like to take notes on who to vote for, you will have to go old school. Write it on a piece of paper. You are allowed to bring paper with you. When it comes to fashion, leave your candidate branded merch at home. You are not allowed to wear any apparel that relates to a candidate, political party, or measure.
Cheryl, thank you. On the campaign trail, Vice President Kamala Harris is back in the battleground state of Pennsylvania today, while former President Donald Trump is gearing up for a rally at New York City's Madison Square Garden. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand reports from Washington tonight.
Returning to his hometown, former President Donald Trump is rallying at the iconic Madison Square Garden, one of the nation's most famous venues. He's taking the stage with running mate J.D. Vance and surrogates like Elon Musk in a solidly blue state, but in an effort to speak to a much broader audience and deliver a closing argument 9 days from Election Day.
I got a message for Kamala Harris tonight. We're feeling the joy in New York City tonight, aren't we?
For both campaigns, it's a fight for any remaining undecided voters and a game of turnout. Vice President Kamala Harris is spending Sunday in Philadelphia to rally her supporters in the most populated part of the battleground state.
We are a new generation of leadership that is optimistic and excited about what our nation can do together.
The vice president visited a local barber shop after delivering remarks during a Sunday morning church service.
This moment in our nation has to be about so much more than partisan politics.
Harris is scheduled to deliver her closing argument Tuesday on the National Mall, where Trump made his speech on January 6, 2021, before a mob of his supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol. In an interview with Norah O'Donnell, Harris talked about the significance of the location for her event.
This is a real scenario. It's either going to be Donald Trump or it's going to be me, sitting behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office.
New CBS News polling shows the presidential race is as close as it's ever been, with the candidates virtually tied in the battleground states. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Just over a week to go now. Remember, KHOU 11 is your one-stop shop for all the resources you need for this year's election. Just text the word VOTE to 713-526-1111, and we'll text you back a link with our KHOU 11 voter guide. That'll include a full list of voting locations, important deadlines, and of course, those sample ballots. Let's jump outside to talk weather. We're taking a live look over Galveston on another hot day in late October. Meteorologist Pat Cowlin joins us now. Pat, that rainless streak continues, but for how much longer?
A few more days, but yeah, there is some change on the way as we get into the upcoming week. Live look here out towards downtown this evening. Temperature is still very warm. Upper 80s across the board. Galveston hanging on to the upper 70s, but there's a little more humidity down there to work with. Bottom line, though, is a gorgeous day with all of that sunshine. 90 was the high temperature in the book, so not quite a record, but look at where we should be this time of year. We should see high temperatures now in the upper 70s. We shouldn't even be getting to 80 degrees. And we're still putting 90-degree numbers in the almanac books. 64 this morning, should be in the 50s. Sunset tonight at 6:38. So again, 78 in Galveston, 79 Mont Belvieu, 88 still in Huntsville and Conroe, 89 for Tomball and Columbus. Humidity is not too bad, though. Dew points in the 50s, so it feels really good out there for everyone, except, again, for the coastal spots. Galveston with a dew point of 70, a mark of very, very high humidity. Nothing, though, on satellite or radar. It's very quiet. There are a couple of showers across North Texas associated with a stationary boundary that is not going to make it through our area as we go through the overnight. So we stay warm and muggy. A couple of clouds out there. Getting into tomorrow, that boundary starts to fall apart, so we stay sunny and warm, and more of the same getting into Tuesday, but a little more humidity, I think, as a south wind starts to pick up, and that comes in ahead of our next rain chance. So watch the humidity trend here. We're kind of teetering between the comfortable and muggy category, but once we get towards Wednesday and the end of the week, we are in the tropical category. You're going to notice that humidity, but that will kind of set the stage for our next rain chance. So we're dry for Monday and Tuesday, a 40% chance then as we get into Wednesday, and then 50-50 rain chances for Thursday and Friday. So the rain chances have increased for the second half of this upcoming week. And again, this is rain that we really do need. So it's a cold front coming into this state. It doesn't come through our area as a cold front. Unfortunately, models look to kind of stall it across the area, but that'll be good for increased and prolonged rain chances. So we do get a break from the dry streak, and with the clouds and the showers in play, temperatures will be a little bit lower as well. And getting into the beginning of November, it does look like higher rain chances become more likely. I would say the better chance, though, will be for West Texas. We're kind of on the edge here. So I do think we'll at least see something, but I don't think it's going to be drought-busting rain for us here in southeast Texas. Unfortunately, if you're looking for cooler weather, temperatures are expected to stay at or above normal as we go through at least the first week and a half of the upcoming month, with the cool weather kind of confined to the southwest. So 66 for the overnight in the city, 73 at the coast, mid-60s elsewhere. Tomorrow, it's 88 in the city, 82 at the coast, upper 80s elsewhere. Notice not as much in the way of 90-degree heat for tomorrow, and our 90-degree temperatures will actually keep going down. There's your 7-day forecast. We'll do 88 for Tuesday, and then with those clouds and showers and storms coming in for Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, temperatures drop back to the low and mid-80s for high temperatures, but the overnight lows get very warm as well. So low to mid-70s for the overnight temperatures, so really feeling more like a May forecast than an October and eventually November forecast. And Marcelino, just a reminder, next weekend we get an hour of sleep, so there's the good news, but the sun goes down an hour earlier.
But still no sign of fall.
No sign of fall except for that.
Thanks, Pat. Now to a story many of you have been clicking on. If you're a fan of Texas A&M football, congratulations! Yesterday's big win over the LSU Tigers has propelled them into the top 10. The Associated Press just released their brand new top 25 rankings a few hours ago, and the Aggies jumped 4 spots after beating the Tigers 38-23. On top of that, the Texas Longhorns dropped 1 spot to number 6 in the nation. That's despite beating Vanderbilt. And today, the Texans took home another win against the Colts, beating them 23-20. This was the second matchup of the season between the two teams. Their last game was played back in September, where the Texans also edged out the Colts with a score of 29-27, both close games. You can catch more post-game action from today's matchup on Sports Extra, and of course that airs right after the late news.
Those are good games. They're close.
Yeah, they're close, and we're winning.
It's not a blowout, and we're winning, so we're getting the good. We're getting
that's why we like them.
The ideal turnout for it, but still.
Yep, that's our time for now. But remember, you can check us out anytime on KHOU.com and KHOU11+. We're back on TV for KHOU 11 News a little later tonight at 10:30. We'll see you then.